So the flight today was really an introduction for you to kind of have an idea of what we do with the Snowbirds, and also to give you an idea of what's going on, of course, here for Sidewalk Days this weekend. So took off, went over the city right away so you could have a good view of the city, of Main Street, and you saw really well Crescent Park that was there, and the pool at the Y. And then we overflew the airport at 6,000 feet. And then we went down to our training area, our second home, I'd say, close to the town of Mossbank, where we do practice every day in the winter. Again, like I said, this is our main training area. And there we experienced some aerobatics. We did some loops, some rolls, experienced a little bit the G-force at 3 and 4G that you saw. And of course you were doing so well and your stomach was doing well, so we went inverted and you saw what it feels like to be, you know, all the way inverted at -1G. On our way to Regina, I wanted to show you Regina, and we heard that our main formation was coming back, so we canceled Regina, came back, and you were able to see, of course, the return of the main formation here at 15 Wing for Sidewalk Days.
Shaw TV Moose Jaw was recently invited by the Snowbirds Air Demonstration Squadron to go up on a media flight, and then give our viewers a look at the experience. And what an amazing experience it was. Going up with the Snowbirds is much more than showing up at the hangar and hopping in an airplane. It's a day filled with safety training, medical checkups, and meetings. My day started early in the morning at 15 Wing Supply Depot. Here I was outfitted with a layer of cotton clothing, military-grade boots, which are more comfortable than they look, and then a green flight suit. After suiting up, it's over to the Snowbirds hangar for safety training. Using a mock-up parachute and an ejector simulator, Corporal Tiffany Burley begins to brief me on how to get out of the plane as fast as possible.
Basically, you want to be prepared for any kind of situation, emergency situation that could arise. So you want to make sure that you don your kit properly. So that's a big thing. So your survival equipment is one thing, but your parachute, make sure it's on properly and secured, as well as your helmet and mask. Those are things that, like your mask is what's going to provide you oxygen for your flight, and then in case of emergency, if you need it at another point. So your actual equipment is very important, that you know how it works, how to initiate it in case of emergency situation, as well as how to strap in it and get into the seat itself. As you noticed, there was a lot of bells and whistles, so to speak, a lot of buckles, a lot of different things, connection points. So it's making sure that you have them done properly in the proper order. That all combined together relies on you getting out of the aircraft safely.
After memorizing a few safety sequences in the form of rhymes, getting my helmet and mask fitted, and pulling on the ejection lever a few times, planes are towed to the tarmac and Lieutenant Colonel Maurice Carmichael begins to brief me on the flight. Maurice takes the time to explain the numerous steps required for pre-flight, from planning out where we'll be flying to double checking that the plane has had all of its mechanical and service work completed.
Well, as you can imagine, we have a total of 24 people traveling across North America for 6 months of the year, oftentimes in various different formations. We have a 53-foot van that goes by road with a supply technician, so everyone needs to be in sync. I think I would say the most important thing is discipline. You probably heard on the radio, you probably felt discipline on the radio of, you know, the lead is the boss, he is the boss, he's the one directing all the calls, so that's important, and to be able to trust each other. So this is really what we do, is the discipline, the communication, and ensuring that everyone knows what is happening at all times.
After our briefing, the moment arrives, and me and Lieutenant Colonel Carmichael begin our way to the plane, and in a blink of an eye, it's time for takeoff.
You had a great example today of how you see the world in a very different way when you're there. When we were at the top of the loop there, and I remember you kind of mentioning that, how, wow, that's neat to see the world upside down. And I think that's what I like. It's not something that you get when you're here on the ground. You have to go flying to experience that.
It's clear that the men and women of Air Demonstration Squadron 431 are at the top of their game, with the level of their skills and focus on details well beyond my comprehension. Watching their show now comes with a whole new appreciation for what's going on in the air and the ground. Thanks to everyone that made the day's flight possible, and to the squadron for being very gracious hosts. Reporting from 15 Wing Moose Jaw, I'm Christian Molding.